that my name is Gal and I'm Jewish, and we have had enough of Jew hatred.
Zegler also faced blowback after posting Free Palestine. Gadot is from Israel and served in the Israeli army.
Now, Gal Gadot not only didn't want to be seen with Rachel and even exchange some words with Zegler, Gal reportedly told Zegler herself that she never wants to be seen with Zegler again on live television.
Get ready to ditch everything you thought you knew about fairy tales, because the making of Disney's Snow White remake became less about magic and more about a shocking Hollywood showdown that captivated and confused everyone. Forget the wicked stepmother and the poisoned apple, the real drama unfolded off screen, allegedly brewing into an intense silent feud between the film's two biggest stars, the new Snow White, Rachel Zegler, and the evil queen herself, Gal Gadot. This wasn't just a touch of awkwardness on a red carpet. It was the public eruption of deeply rooted tension, fueled by everything from clashing politics to vast generational differences, and it trapped the entire multi-million-dollar production in a PR nightmare that Disney reportedly couldn't escape. Long before the cameras even began rolling, whispers of controversy already surrounded this ambitious live-action reboot. Choosing Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, for a character famously described as having skin as white as snow, ignited an immediate, ferocious online debate. Was it progressive casting or an abandonment of source material? Traditionalists and some conservative commentators, like Ben Shapiro, loudly criticized Disney, accusing the studio of prioritizing perceived wokeness over the original story's core elements. But the casting was just the start. Details emerged about a radical script overhaul. The prince and the traditional romance reportedly sidelined, Snow White's name now allegedly stemming from surviving a snowstorm as an infant, and the focus shifted entirely to her journey of becoming a strong, independent leader. This wasn't your grandma's fairy tale, and the sheer scale of the changes already had segments of the audience resistant, setting a sensitive stage for the production that would soon face far more personal turmoil. The first undeniable public sign that something was terribly wrong between the two leads didn't come from a leaked studio memo or a fiery tabloid headline. It was far more modern, far more subtle, and infinitely more revealing: an Instagram post. Rachel Zegler shared what appeared to be a heartfelt tribute to her 4-year journey working on Snow White. She included behind-the-scenes photos, group shots with cast and crew, and emotional thank yous. It seemed like a standard sweet wrap-up post, until fans scrolled through, conspicuously absent from the entire carousel. Any photo, any tag, any single mention of Gal Gadot, the global superstar who played the other lead role, the evil queen. The omission was so blatant, so pointed, that the internet immediately erupted. Was this a monumental, unbelievable oversight, or was it a deliberate, quiet act of shade? The sheer volume of comments asking, "Where is Gal?" confirmed that the silence surrounding the evil queen was speaking volumes, turning a simple social media post into the first visible crack in the film's facade and sparking a frenzy of speculation about bad blood. But this wasn't simply about a forgotten tag or a minor on-set disagreement. As fans and media dug deeper, connecting dots from past public statements and alleged insider murmurs, the root cause of the apparent tension seemed to lead back to something far more fundamental and volatile: their vastly different and very publicly held political views. Gal Gadot is proudly Israeli, a former soldier in the Israel Defense Forces, and has been a vocal advocate against antisemitism, speaking out forcefully during periods of conflict. Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, has expressed clear support for Palestine, notably tweeting "Free Palestine" during the tumultuous period the film was being made, a stance seen by many as directly opposing Gadot's position. In today's intensely polarized climate, these aren't just differing opinions. They are often seen as irreconcilable positions that ignite immense passion and conflict. Sources close to the production reportedly described the set atmosphere becoming a tightrope walk, with cast and crew navigating carefully to avoid the palpable discomfort between the two stars, suggesting their deeply held beliefs created a divide that went beyond simple professional differences. Adding another complex layer to the dynamic was the striking difference in their life stages and career trajectories. Gal Gadot is an established global icon, a mother of 4, grounded by years of navigating Hollywood's highs and lows. She represents a certain kind of seasoned, elegant professionalism. Rachel Zegler, at just 23, is still relatively new to the industry's immense pressures and scrutiny, balancing blockbuster roles with figuring out her place in the world. This significant age gap wasn't just a number. It meant vastly different life experiences, priorities, social circles, and perhaps even different ways of interacting with fame and public opinion. While not inherently a source of conflict, this generational divide likely made bridging the gap caused by the quiet tension became impossible to ignore when the cast stepped out for public appearances, most notably the Los Angeles premiere. Photographers captured image after image of Zegler and Gadot standing side by side, smiling for the cameras. Yet, analyzing these photos and brief video clips became an internet obsession. Fans turned into body language experts, dissecting every angle. They pointed out the stiff postures, the smiles that didn't quite reach the eyes, the subtle leaning away, the lack of genuine interaction or warmth exchanged between them, even when posing together. It felt less like two co-stars celebrating their film and more like two individuals enduring a mandatory, awkward professional obligation. They were fighting over what fairy tale, usually a place of shared excitement, transformed into a public stage where the alleged bad blood was visibly into one of Disney's biggest conical divides, solidifying the rumors in the minds of countless viewers. Their off-screen attention distracted from the film itself, speculation, and fans couldn't help but Zegler began giving interviews where she wasn't just addressed the situation, not getting along, but with a calculated, almost evasive with strategy. It was about what generally about the importance of women supporting women in Hollywood, and how the media and industry often try to pit female stars against and using her voice to push for more undeniably positive messages. Intense backlash, however, online hate, and details stood out. Scrutiny. She never explicitly mentioned Gal Gadot. Not once. This pointed silence around her co-star's name fueled further debate. Was this Zegler taking a mature, high-road approach to diffuse the tension? Was it a strategic act of damage control to protect her image? Or was it a passive-aggressive way of acknowledging the feud without directly confronting Gadot or the core political issues? Her careful wording kept the story alive, leaving the public to interpret her motives and confirming that yes, there was indeed an elephant in the room, she just wasn't going to name it directly. For Disney, this escalating, very public tension, piled on top of the film's existing controversies regarding casting and story changes, spiraled into a full-blown marketing disaster. Instead of generating buzz about the magic of Snow White, the headlines were dominated by the alleged feud between Gadot and Zegler. The off-screen drama was completely overshadowing the movie itself. Reports and rumors surfaced about Disney scrambling behind the scenes, allegedly scaling back promotional events, perhaps hoping that less visibility meant less scrutiny. It felt like the studio was trapped, desperately trying to manage a crisis they couldn't control or spin positively. One viral moment that encapsulated the perceived chaos was an alleged, quickly deleted social media post by Disney CEO Bob Iger's son, reportedly criticizing Zegler and claiming she had hijacked the film's narrative. A post that, whether true or not, highlighted the level of frustration and internal turmoil surrounding the production. The fairy tale remake was drowning in the harsh realities of modern Hollywood conflict. Ultimately, the saga of Disney's Snow White remake became far more than just the story of two stars who didn't get along. It evolved into a compelling, uncomfortable case study of how deeply cultural and political divisions are impacting the entertainment world, and how quickly off-screen tensions can derail even the most anticipated projects. From the casting debates that sparked conversations about tradition versus representation, to a political divide allegedly creating a rift between co-stars, this production became a battleground reflecting broader societal clashes. Rachel Zegler, stepping into the iconic role, found herself at the center of multiple storms, navigating intense scrutiny, political backlash, and the very public tension with her co-star. Gal Gadot, largely remaining silent publicly after the initial reports of the feud, became the other key figure in a narrative where her quietness spoke volumes. And Disney, caught in the middle, learned a tough lesson about the unpredictable power of social media, culture wars, and the undeniable fact that sometimes the messiest, most talked about stories are the ones playing out just outside the frame. And as the film's release approaches, the world is still watching, still speculating, and still completely captivated by the behind-the-scenes drama that turned a classic fairy tale upside down. Beyond the heavy weight of international politics, another, perhaps simpler factor likely contributed to the lack of warmth between them: the vast difference in their life stages and experiences. Gal Gadot, pushing 40, is a married mother of 4 children. She is an established A-lister, comfortable with fame, and has navigated the Hollywood machine for years. Her priorities, her daily reality, are vastly different from those of a 23-year-old like Rachel Zegler, who is still in the nascent stages of her career, experiencing the whirlwind of sudden fame, navigating press tours,